Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is January 25, 2025, and in this video we're going to talk about some news that recently came out from USCIS. So let's start from the very first. Well, the first one is that the office was closed, but there are a few extensions for temporary protected status for El Salvador. Looks like also for Venezuela, the temporary protected status was extended for Sudan and for Ukraine. So that's the news from the January. There also have been some updates for a few different processes, specifically for I-140. So if that's applicable to you, definitely look into it. For the National Interest Waiver Petition, EB2, there was some updates in the process. So again, if it's applicable to you, make sure to check it out. It looks like the cap was reached for the H-2B visas, and there was also a final rule issued for H-1B, H-2 final rule, and also a revised form I-129 that became effective as of January 17, 2025. So again, if that is applicable to you, make sure to take a look into those and see the updated versions. But the biggest news have been just recent, just a couple days ago, just 2-3 days ago, and it is for everyone who is applying for permanent residence. And I know a lot of people who are subscribed to this channel. I had a lot of questions about it, if it ever will come into effect. And looks like after a few whatever it is that the new president, well, ex-president who became a president again, Trump, signed, well, looks like it did some good. And it is pertaining to the COVID-19 vaccination that was a requirement for everyone who is adjusting their status. So, as you already know, you're probably familiar with that. If that is applicable to you, you definitely know. And you've probably been waiting for it for a long time now. I know some people for at least a year now, people have been waiting for this requirement to be removed. And that is a requirement for whenever you're applying for permanent residence. One of the steps that you have to complete is to go through the medical examination with the civil surgeon, part of which is also meeting the requirements of having certain vaccinations. And all of these, it can be found. I do have a separate video, so I'm not gonna get in too much detail about it, but I do have a separate video on Form I-693. Basically, it is the form that you have to take to a civil surgeon, and that's the form that has all of the required vaccinations that you need to have in order for the civil surgeon to sign off on your Form I-693, so that you can submit it with the rest of the documents that you need to submit in order to apply for permanent residence, for the adjustment of status. One thing that I wanted you to keep in mind is that there is still, if you look at the vaccine record on it should be somewhere here on this form, there it is, you will still see COVID-19 column or table. That's column right here. It's still there, but keep in mind this edition is from March 2023. So I am thinking very soon we will see an updated Form I-693 coming out with this whole thing removed completely. All right, great news finally. But it is still there, so if you are doing your medical examination within the next until the time the new edition of I-693 is removed, if for whatever reason the civil surgeon, they should be familiar with it because they are updated, but for whatever reason, if they are not updated for whatever reason, definitely bring it up and say that's it, the COVID-19 is no longer a requirement, and they in fact can verify themselves on the official government website, USCIS In the newsroom, it is right there under January 22nd, 2025, which says effective January 22nd, 2025, USCIS is waiving any and all requirements that applicants for adjustment of status to that of a lawful permanent resident present documentation on their form I-693 that they received the COVID-19 vaccination. USCIS will not issue any request for evidence or notice of intent to deny related to proving a COVID-19 vaccination. USCIS will not deny any adjustment of status application based on the applicant's failure to present documentation that they received the COVID-19 vaccination. Honestly, that is way overdue by at least a year, if not longer. I'd say probably more than like a year and a half overdue. They should have done it a while ago. So I'm really glad to see this finally take effect, to finally go through. So basically, if you have the COVID-19 vaccination record, you don't have to show it. If you don't have it and you don't care about it, good, just go and do the rest of the medical examination, whatever other requirements for vaccine records are. Keep in mind that with all the other vaccine, it's a record. So if you do have an existing record of the past vaccinations that you have received over time, bring it to your medical examination and show it to the civil surgeon, because a lot of them, if you already got them, he or she will be able to just take it off the list. So definitely some good news for people who are or who have been waiting to apply for permanent residence and they have not been applying specifically for this reason. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. As you already know, on this channel I do have video sections, that separate section of videos where I go through all of the comments and I answer them. So if you have any follow-up questions, you can definitely drop them in the comments below and I will try to address them in a timely manner. So thank you very much everyone for watching. As always, all the links will be in the description below. Again, this is the official government website for USCIS, uscis.gov, and from here you can access all the news in the newsroom, all news, and there we go. That is number one right now. So hopefully this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. God bless, and I will see you all in the next video.